Our documentary surrounds the mobile phone obsession. We aim to find out whether the younger generation are more obsessed with phones than the older generation. We want to target a primary audience of teenagers and a secondary audience of parents. Our documentary targets 15 to 25-year-olds due to them being the most interested due to our findings in pre-production through our research and planning stages, which enabled us to see what codes and conventions they'd like to see. We asked them a variety of questions on a documentary, double-page spread and radio advert to evaluate all three of our media projects. As a group, we conducted audience research using an open and closed questionnaire for each individual product. We asked 6 students, 6 from the younger generation aged from 16 to 18, which was 6 female and 6 male. We also asked 6 from the older generation aging from 25 plus, and to gain effective feedback we asked them to complete this honestly to gain critical and accurate opinion.
Does the introduction give you an overall view of the documentary, and does it make you want to watch it? If so, why?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was interesting and it got your attention straight away.
I thought that the presenters were both very, very good. I liked especially when they're in the Solihull street scene when it was going really, really fast. I thought that was excellent.
From our audience feedback, I have learned that both the older and the younger generation believe that our introduction provides them with an overall view which intrigues them into watching it, as all 18 selected this answer. The younger generation believed that it was informative and it intrigued them into watching it due to them having a mobile phone themselves, and it made them engage and want to continue watching it because it sets out the topic straight away. The older generation also agreed, as they said they would want to watch the whole documentary because the introduction was interesting and intriguing, as everyone has a phone nowadays. This positive response could be due to us mediating our work consistently throughout to make sure that we could keep the audience's interest.
Did you like the way we used both presenters and a voiceover? Was this better than just having one? If so, why?
I liked the whole documentary actually.
To observe whether our documentary creation was successful, we asked the target audience what their opinion was on the use of presenters and a voiceover. In terms of whether using both was better than one, our results have shown that 100% of our audience liked better using both than just the one, due to 50% of the younger generation and students saying that it contrasts well and they like how our presenters interact. And 100% of the older generation said that it was more interesting due to the added personality on screen. However, 16.7% said that of the younger generation said that they didn't think it made a difference as there was too much going on and too much changing, which made it sound a little strange. Overall, this shows that the use of both was effective, as only 16.7% of the younger generation is criticised. I feel we wouldn't have had such a positive response if we hadn't listened to the audience feedback and looked at closer conventions of documentaries beforehand.
Which parts of the documentary didn't you like, and how would you improve on this?
Gina could have spoken a little bit more slowly, and also the same for Lauren.
We wanted to gain critical feedback from our target audience, which would enable us to improve and understand certain aspects that they didn't like about our documentary. The main criticism from the younger generation / students was that the sound levels dipped in some places and the vox pops in the canteen has too much background noise. But this could be due to us filming during lunch break, where a lot of people socialise and talk. However, I do think that we could have edited and reduced the background noise through some of the software we had provided for us. Also, 25% of them commented on these presenting, so that we maybe could have split it up, and some of the attempted humour was a bit awkward. However, when gaining feedback from the older generation, we found 33.3%, which was 2 out of the 6, liked all of it and didn't have any changes they would like. However, the other 4 members advised with improvements to slow down the dialogue so that it's not too overexcitable, and advised that maybe some of the vox pops could have been shorter due to some of them interviews being similar. However, some of the responses in our documentary have been similar on purpose due to us implementing strict holes in coding and decoding theory, because we wanted our target audience to have a preferred reading and implement our decoded message that the younger generation are obsessed with their phones. So it was created on purpose, and it's what we wanted to do.
Who do you think the target audience is for this documentary?
I think teenagers to mid-20s.
The last question we asked about our documentary was to see if our target audience knew who our documentary was targeted at. 2 of the younger generation / students said that it was targeted at 15 to 20 plus year olds. 2 said 15 to 19, 2 said 12 to 24, 2 said teenage girls, and 4 said both genders. For the older generation, 2 said that the documentary was targeted at the younger generation. 2 said teens, 1 said 16 to 24-year-olds, and 1 said anyone who owned a mobile phone. Overall, this view shows that mainly our target audience thinks that it's aimed at 15 to 24-year-olds, which is actually who we wanted to target. This shows that we have actually targeted our audience correctly, as they were able to recognise that our documentary was targeted at them, which also could be due to the younger generation being portrayed throughout our documentary, double page spread and a radio advert. This has a positive effect because it meant that we knew what they would and wouldn't like, which meant that our documentary was overall a success.
Do you like the way the same music track is used in the documentary and the radio advert? Does it have a positive effect?
Yes, I like the way the same music track was used in the documentary and the radio advert. It has a positive effect.
Through our research and planning, we didn't ask our target audience in our pre-production questionnaire about the background music, which is why we asked them in post-production to get their truthful opinion. All 12 students in the younger generation said that they liked the way the same music was used in the documentary and the radio advert and agreed it had a positive effect. 8 said that it enabled them to have a link between the 2 products. 2 said that they helped the advert to relate to the documentary, and 2 said that it was upbeat and modern, which could attract our target audience in an effective way. The older generation agreed and gave similar comments, as all 6 said yes, they liked it. And it's positive because it was a good choice of music and it creates a good link between the 2 products.
Hearing the radio advert, does it intrigue you to watch the documentary?
Yeah, I did. I thought, I think it's an interesting subject.
We wanted to create a radio advert that summarises the documentary in an interesting and creative way to intrigue our target audience into watching. So we asked them to find out whether we were successful in doing so. We wanted to be creative by adding aspects of the documentary into it. So we put the ringing of the phone at the beginning of our radio advert as well to instantly implement and inform them of what our topic was. Due to the 100% of the younger generation and students and the older generation finding our radio advert intriguing, I learned that we had created it successfully because it meant that we achieved what we had hoped to, as all of our target audience wanted to watch a documentary due to the radio advert and they weren't put off.
How professional does our double page spread look?
In order to promote our documentary in the most successful way as possible, having the double page spread look professional would have a massive impact in terms of marketing and advertising it correctly. 10 of the students / younger generation believed that our double page spread looked very professional. 2 said that our double page spread looked relatively professional. For the older generation, 5 believed our double page spread looked very professional and 1 said it looked relatively professional. Throughout our audience research conducted with our target audience, overall 83.33% believed it looked very professional, which shows that our target audience believed that we have created a successful piece to target them correctly. However, noting one of the vox pops, the font size was slightly too small, which may make the double page spread look unprofessional due to us not recognising this issue. But as a whole, I feel everything was put together very well, and the specific images that we had chosen had a very good insight into our documentary. The length of time we spent conducting this will have an impact on how professional, due to us constantly checking with each other for the group's opinion to check everyone was pleased or if they wanted to suggest something. And I feel as the results have reflected on this because we continuously worked hard to make it look the way we wanted it to.
Which aspect do you find most eye-catching and why?
To gain successful audience feedback, we wanted to gain their full opinion. We asked them which aspect did they find the most eye-catching from the younger generation / students. The most popular answer was the images, as all 8 of them provided this answer and believed that the image instantly summarised the topic. 2 said the layout was the most eye-catching, which could be due to the 3 clear columns that we presented, which had the images and pull quotes evenly spread out through the article so that it would follow through smoothly. It could be also due to the way that we had a background image underneath the article, which made it look more interesting. The older generation's most popular answer was between the title and the colour scheme. 2 said the title because it's a straight to the point heading, which provides you with little information to figure out the images, and because they are able to relate to it. 2 said the colour scheme because it was so bright and the colours complemented each other. 1 said the headline and another said the images, which could be due to phones being presented in every single one, which would be why they found it most eye-catching. Overall, audience feedback has been a successful aspect of making sure that we appeal to our target audience in the right way. Through the audience research when conducting our research and planning task, we wanted to make sure that we knew who we were targeting, what they were interested in, and if they even liked documentaries, and what they would or wouldn't like. This impacted our overall creation, and I've learnt a variety of things throughout the process. Our findings have proven that we have created a well-constructed documentary, double-page spread and radio trailer to our audience's taste. We have listened and implemented their feedback in ways to create our products specifically to their requirements and suggestions. Overall, the questionnaire has shown that we have very little to improve according to our target audience, as there was only slight adjustments that could have needed to be made for it to be a complete success. They gave very positive feedback and they seemed to be impressed with our 3 products equally. However, I feel that I expected our audience to react in a similar way to what they have, due to us listening to what they wanted when we constructed our pre-production research for it to become a success. I'm very pleased that they were positive about it, and the critical feedback they gave us was very helpful for us to see what we could change and improve on in the future, due to me learning from all the negatives.